What's the total cost of this program, and is it funded in its entirety by the TDCJ grant? If not, what are the different funding mechanisms?
I think we're still kind of assessing the cost. Come on.
Tanya McConaughey Rivera, Office of Business Opportunity. Each resource fair costs approximately $6,000. So Houston Forest Corporation and the Port of Houston is helping to sponsor that, so we are not using any city funding to sponsor these events. And those basically will cover any food or any marketing materials that we may need to host the event. But we're using city facilities, so that will not be a cost for us.
Okay. So that's the cost of hosting the fair itself. In terms of the additional monies coming, let's say from TDCJ, that's to implement the strategies themselves. Because when it comes to, for example, people looking for reentry, people looking for jobs or employment opportunities, you have to have resources to work with. And so that $1 million that's being made available provide us to serve some of the additional monies that we need to effectively implement the program. Which is even more important. And then we'll utilize whatever existing resources that the city may currently have, but that $1 million is in addition to.
Can you clarify what you mean by effectively implement the program? Is it kind of, other than job fairs, what is that implementation?
What that means, for example, a lot of people will come and they may not have their driver's license or some other things when they're coming out. The documentation of the things that they need. And you need a resource that can help get them to the right person. And in many cases, for example, we are looking at partnering with other nonprofits and others that can assist them. Well, that $1 million in large part can be used to provide some seed money or funding for some of those nonprofits to specifically assist people who are coming through these jobs fairs who may need that assistance. Okay, so whether we're partnering with churches, nonprofits, private organizations, and I think we may be looking at putting out some RFPs to some nonprofits as well, to supplement the program.
Mayor, do we have an approximation of how many of our fellow citizens fall into this hard-to-employ category? Have you been given that number?
Well, let me just say, when you're looking at the number that are coming out from, let's say, out of TDCJ almost every year, coming back to the County area, you're looking at about 12,000 to 13,000 people that are coming back to Houston Harris County alone.
I'm talking about those outside of TDCJ.
Outside of TDCJ, I don't know what that number is, because, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's just not geared to individuals who have been incarcerated. It's geared to people who are just having a hard time finding employment. It may gear to people who may have dropped out, don't have the skills, just feel as though the doors are locked. So it's geared to any individual who feel as though they are caught in a situation where they can't get out, and they may be tempted to do some other things. Okay, so to any of those, and I can't give you the number. What I can say to you, Greg, is that it's just not enough to tell people don't commit crimes. You know, I think we have to also tell them what they can say yes to. And this is a mechanism by saying, look, wherever you may find yourself, there is a door, and we're here to assist you to better your lives to the extent that you want it. It doesn't have to be always the same. And when you look at Robin, when you look at Angel, these are examples that just a little bit of help can literally turn people's lives. And there are some folk who are caught in gangs because they don't know, there's no one else to turn to, so the gangs have open arms. Well, this is the way the city is saying our arms are open, and we're inviting you to come in.
So beyond, I think some people who see this are like it's just a job fair. I think you've got a vision for something more than that.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what more people are going to see when they come to these resource fairs beyond employers like the Franklin Beauty School?
And it's not a job fair, because I want to be very clear with that, because I don't want people showing up and you got 1,000 people coming and you have a limited slots. It's not a jobs fair. Now, that's not to say that some people who may be going through it may not end up with a job, but it is not a job fair. What it is a resource fair to provide you with the tools and enhance your skill level to put you in a better position to get a job. That's what it does. There are some people who don't even have no idea how to write a resolution. They have no clue. There are some folk who are in need of assistance, whether it's housing or some other factor that's holding them back, where it's intended to be there and to offer some direction to them. There are some people who, for example, may be caught up in a game, or may have been in a game, and they want out, but they don't know how to get out. It's intended to provide a venue for them to come and for us to help to redirect their lives. There are some folk who will come and say, look, I would like to go on a job, I don't have clothes, and they may not look the part. Well, this is the venue that says we're not judgmental. At one point in time, we all were at that point. But, you know, Franklin Beauty School is here to help you look good. Help you look good, you know, give you a better do, you know. And at the same time, they don't just do hair. They deal with the person, him or herself. And they've been doing it successfully for 100 years. And for many people on the south side, or north side, east side, they know the Franklin Beauty School. Okay? So it's not a quote unquote a jobs fair. Now there will be businesses there, but this is primarily for someone or for people who want to improve their lives. They have no clue on how to start. They may be limited in their resources, and we are trying to take and wrap and put around them all of the necessary elements to take them to the next step, to literally to start their transformation. Okay, that's what it's intended to do.
Mayor, there's a lot of the new synthetic drugs out on the street. I think Kush and all that. Yeah, that are affecting a lot of the young people trying to get into jobs and all. What is the city doing about that? Because this is relatively new, and a lot of programs are not made for the Kush.
Yeah, and there have been several conversations that we've had about Kush and how to deal with that, because a number of people, for example, that we classify, generally would classify as homeless, but they're on Kush. So, you know, that the individuals who may be on Kush sometimes get lumped into that homeless population and make it a little bit more difficult to deal with them. So that's a different strategy to deal with that. In dealing with people who are on substance abuse or utilizing Kush. And so we're having a different conversation on that. That's somewhat, I want to say it's separate from it, but that's not the focus of this resource fair here. But that is an issue that we're having to deal with in real time, even as it relates to the population, homeless population, for some of them downtown, because a lot of the people that you see on the streets who may be walking around in the days, they're on Kush.
Is there a contact number for Turnaround Houston or resource person?
It's 832-393-0954.
Say it one more time.
832-393-0954, and you can also get more information by visiting the website, which is turnaroundhouston.org.
Thank you.
Mayor, how many people do you expect to be able to serve at each of these resource fairs, and how do you intend to recruit them?
So we can't be sure exactly how many people are going to come, but we are hoping to be able to assist 500 people at each one of the events, and if more come, we have contingency plans to be able to handle that. What was the second part of your question?
How do we get the information?
How do we get the information? So we will be working with the re-entry program. We'll have flyers. The mayor is going to be on some radio programs to help spread the word. We'll also be utilizing our city council members and their newsletters to get the word out. We'll have flyers that we'll be taking to halfway houses, barbershops, churches, so we can help spread the word in the community.
Mayor, resource fairs are